Ooh, I hope that sounds nice in the audio. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm a paranormal enthusiast. I go to haunted places, I collect haunted items, but today I'm going to rate my paranormal equipment. So if you're wondering why I'm looking a little crazy right now, I was having a blonde moment. This is a wig, this is not my hair. It's funny because my hair actually used to look like this. It was this color, it was this long, but this isn't the move anymore. We're doing a wig today. And if you're wondering about the sunglasses, I'm not trying to look cool right now. I had a little bit of the devil's lettuce, if you will. And when I do, my eyes get unbelievably red, but I think on top of it, it's because I mowed the lawn today. So I have very, very bad allergies. It's just not looking good in the face region. Just to preface this, my favorite paranormal equipment is my intuition. To kind of go along with my intuition and my intuitive findings in this field, like if I walk into a place and I'm like, wow, this place feels haunted. Is this just in my head? Is this just a strange gut feeling? Or can I kind of prove that feeling by using equipment to visually show things or measure things? Because that's science, right? Like if you can measure something, it's science. I don't know, maybe I made that up. But this is in no order. And I feel like we're gonna rate these on a scale of 1 to 5 ghosts. We're gonna start, because I've been holding this, I'm just waving this thing around. This I got recently. I used to have a different version of this. This is just from Amazon. This is just a regular motion sensor. This isn't a ghost hunting tool. I've tested these out just like in my room. When no movement happens, they don't just go off for no reason. They're not just randomly triggered. Something has to kind of go in front of them, like a person or a ghost, to set them off. I didn't know what this alarm sounds were when I bought this one, but when I got it, there's a bunch of different settings and they're so funny.
Welcome. Bienvenue. Приветствуем вас. Bem-vindo ao Sawadika.
Is this gonna explode? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. The motion sensor, like I said, not a specific ghost hunting tool, but if it goes off when it's in a room, when no one's moving, that's unusual. It's not the best thing, but I would rate that one on the scale, 3 ghosts. The REM pod. I always make sure I have a REM pod. I've tried different brands and different versions of this. Like I feel like this is the recognizable one, and none of the other ones are ever as good. They can never compare to this one. The only thing I don't like about this one is they do break very easily. This is at least my 4th one, and they're about like $185, $200 each. So for that reason, I don't like it as much, but as a tool, I really like it. So how it works is you put the antenna up. It has a temperature fluctuation mode, which I don't like to use because typically I'm at an abandoned place or outside or somewhere where the temperature isn't very controlled or consistent. So that's the button underneath. So if that's on, I feel like it goes off way more often, and people will put that in their videos and be like, oh my God, it's going off all the time. But like, it's cold. There's a cold breeze. So that's not reliable. But how the top part works, the REM pod part, is it makes its own EMF field around itself. If anything breaks that barrier when it goes close to the antenna, it will trigger it to make noises. So I put that there and it's going nuts. So the closer you go to it, it makes different sounds. So you can kind of see how strong the energy is that's breaking its electromagnetic field. I really like the REM pod. Like I said, the temperature part, not my favorite, but this specific brand, you can find these on Amazon or I think like any ghost hunting equipment website. I would rate this on a scale of 1 to 5. We're gonna give it a 5. I always bring this everywhere. I like it. I'm gonna give it a 5. K2, the infamous K2 meter. This little thing measures electromagnetic frequencies. So if I were to put this up to an outlet or probably my phone, see, it's gonna set it off. But say you're at a location, your phone's not near you or your phone's on airplane mode, there's no electricity around you, there's no electronics, and suddenly this starts lighting up. That's unusual. That means there's EMF around you near the meter. So, if it's spiking just within the green, maybe to yellow, that's normal. Also, older houses tend to set this off pretty high because old houses seem to have faulty wiring or just an older wiring system. I like it as a tool when I first go to a location to I'll sweep the whole area and see if there's any big spikes or fluctuations. Then I know, okay, that area sets us off, like because of the electricity or whatever's in that area. But if everything's, say, baselining low and then suddenly throughout the night it just starts spiking, that's unusual. But you have to remember to keep your phone on airplane mode, because when your phone's in your pocket, which everyone kind of does that, it's going to set it off. So are they faking it or do they just not know? I'm just the messenger. Also, if you buy off brands of this, they're not going to work properly. I've had an off-brand one and it would just go off all the time for no reason. This is from ghoststop.com. This is like the legit one. I don't know the science of what makes it legit, but this is one of the real brand ones. So yeah, ghoststop.com. I'm not sponsored, by the way. If I ever get sponsored, I will let you guys know when I hope someone sponsors me. Like, send me, this stuff's expensive and I break it all the time and I have to buy it all. But I like the K2 meter. I'm going to give it I'll give it a 4. We're going to go 4. Dowsing rods. I really like dowsing rods. Dowsing rods aren't for everyone, and it's in a different category, I would say, of ghost hunting equipment. It's more metaphysical or intuitive, I would say, like pendulums, Ouija boards, dowsing rods. I would kind of put those all in the same category, but that's kind of my favorite category. Basically, this part isn't attached. This is a copper rod, and this part is like a hollow tube. So if you're holding your hands steady, they should not move. They should see how it's almost like they're pointing in a certain direction. I mean, these were originally used to find water. All I know is if I'm standing here and suddenly they start swinging, you feel it. It's crazy because I've taught people to use these, or I've let them use mine that have never used them before, and they're like mind blown. They're like, whoa, like you can feel them, like something pushing them. It's such a cool, if you haven't used them before, like I recommend at least just try them. Maybe it won't be for you, but they're fun. I give these a 5 out of 5. Love them. I love them. Polaroid cameras. I started using these rather recently. I have seen very crazy paranormal evidence on Polaroid photos, because the thing is, people can't really alter them. I mean, when there's a will, there's a way. There probably is, but not likely. I feel like you would be able to tell. I've been taking this to locations recently. I have not personally ever caught something weird on it yet, but I know it's going to happen one day, and I'm excited for that moment. I'll give it a 3. It's decent. Once I get a cool picture, it'll be a 5. The SB7 Spirit Box, the OG. So this is, the very basic Spirit Box. So this little thing sweeps through stations very fast to make a white noise. And if you ever saw the movie White Noise, ghosts. So you can control the speed as fast as you want it to scan through the stations. I like putting on very fast. That way you know if a voice comes through or like multiple words, that's highly unlikely that would be from a radio station. The original one is my favorite as of now. I've gotten the better versions like the SB11 that scans 2 channels at once and does all this crazy stuff, but honestly I feel like the simpler the better sometimes. Just keep it simple. I like this one, but I got to use the new version, the SB7 Pro, recently. So it works the same, but it has this little thing you can hold. So when you're asking the questions out loud, you can kind of hear you talking without all the static on. And then when you let go, it'll start rolling again. Or you can put it on a timer. That way you can ask a question like, hey, what's up? And then it'll roll for like 15 seconds and then stop. So you can, maybe ask another question or clarify. Everyone's got to have one of these. This is like a staple. This is a ghost hunting equipment staple. 5. It has to be 5. It has to be. This is kind of a random one. I don't know if you want to consider this a ghost hunting device. I got this from ghoststop.com though. So this is called the Faasm light. It's compatible with the Faasm camera, which 0 out of 5. It's basically like a rigged up GoPro with IR capabilities. Maybe they've upgraded it, but when I got it, it never really worked properly. I wasn't happy with it. This was the light that was compatible with that, but you can use this anyway. So this has IR, UV. You can use this with night vision cameras. You can also film, I don't know if this is charged right now, but of course not. But there's different colored lights, so you can do like a green light or a red light. So for filming, it's just fun. And it's magnetic, so there's nothing metal over here, but this is magnetic, so you can stick it on things. It's a fun, I like it. I mean, it's not a necessity, it's just cool. I'd say like 3 out of 5. This is a good one. Everyone knows the Flur camera, the heat map. You can find cold spots or hot spots, and it's in that the color grid. Like if it's warm, it'll be red. This is a different brand. This one is Infrared. Again, not sponsored. Send me stuff. This actually can hook right up to your phone. And honestly, this is like at least $100 less, if not half the price of the Flur version of this that goes into your phone. But it just hooks up to an app. And what I like about this, I don't think you can do this on most other versions, is change the color palette. So, if you want to make it like white and red or black and white, you can do whatever with it. But I like how you can record it directly on your phone and you can be seeing the screen while you're using it. So 5 out of 5 on that one. I really like that. Everyone should buy that. The Obolus. The Obolus has been around for a long time. The original ones, they don't make anymore, and they go for, like $5,000 or something. Like they got really popular from Ghost Adventures, and this one's different now, but now they've added more features, which is cool. This is a word bank, so it has a lot of words in its dictionary. I don't know how many, but like a lot. This is EMF readers on the top, so the spirits are supposed to be able to manipulate the device to pick a word, is what they say. It sounds crazy, but I have gotten crazy accurate words on this as compared to like what I'm doing or what I'm asking or a name. So when you see it in action and it works like that, it kind of changes your mind about it if you're a skeptic. I'm still skeptic about it, but I think it's a cool tool to use in conjunction to like something else. Like use this, but also use, a voice recorder. I don't know, something else along with it just to have a backup. Also, this one has a true and false mode, which I haven't used too much yet, but I think that's pretty cool because they make that separately as a device, but this is kind of like an all-in-one. It does have a proximity meter, so you can kind of put it in the middle of the room if something goes near it, kind of like a REM pod. It'll alert you. It has a drawing mode. I don't know what that is. I can't figure it out. Like, a ghost gonna draw me a nice picture. It has a couple things. I honestly haven't used even the half of it. I typically like to use it as a word bank or a proximity meter. This is good. This is quality. I mean, this thing goes for like $500, $600 too. It's not a cheap item. It's good quality. I've tried like knockoff brands of the Obolus. It's not ever the same. I'm gonna have to give it a 5. This is called a spirit portal. You can build one of these for not much money, but if you buy these pre-made, all put together with all the fancy wires and everything, it's not cheap. This one is good. They make good ones and they make not so good ones. I've had a not so good one before and it broke 3 times. I had it for not even a month. The only thing is it's heavy, it's bulky, so if it's between this and other equipment, I will go with the other equipment, but it is cool. So all it does is you plug this into the spirit box, and like I said, it plays white noise and sometimes voices come through. So this cancels out the white noise, and you can add reverb so it'll like echo more. Sometimes that makes you better be able to hear it in the moment. So it's cool. I like it. 5. We'll give it 5. This is the night vision camera I use. This is the Panasonic HCVX870. It's good. I've had cheap Amazon cameras. It's not worth it because the batteries die so fast. So this one, it's quality. It's about, I think, $1,000, but it's worth it. But this is the Insta360 X3 for ghost hunting purposes. If you're filming one way, something happens behind you. This happens all the time. This will catch everything. If you put this in the middle of the room, it's constantly filming the entire room the whole time. And you can move the camera the way you want to in post, like in editing. Also, all of my drone shots, it's done with this. You can like fake drone shots with it. You put it on a long pole. It's super cool. I think it's about $400 or $500. I really recommend this. It's 6 out of 5. 6 out of 5. So these are the Meta glasses. Wait, what do I look like right now? There are things in this world that we might never understand. We want answers. Answers. These film really good video. They're not great in low light, but if you're trying to use equipment and holding things and you want to be filming just in case something happens, those come in handy. And then lastly, I just want to mention the camera that I have now. So I have the Sony ZV-E10. I got a lens for it, which made a huge difference in low light. It's the 16mm Sigma lens. Definitely worth it. Great camera, simple, but also has enough settings to make it look good or different depending on what the look you're going for is. Like I said, using your intuition in haunted places is always number one, or at least it is for me and a lot of people I know, but it's always fun to confirm those findings and feelings with this equipment. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a good night.